How do you deal with making these things come to fruition? Whereas for me, I would just give up.
Oh.
After a certain time.
Oh yeah, no. I don't give up. I'm very vocal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, if you're doing something wrong, I have no problem giving you constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can make enemies like that and make friends that way.
Okay.
They can respect you or disrespect you, but I don't know how to change that way about me.
Hi guys, welcome to To Uganda. My name is Johnny Tamaya and this is the REPAT podcast. Now, we do have a lovely guest in the building. I'll let her introduce herself. Please tell us who you are.
Thank you, darling.
Yeah.
My name is Fanny Martinez. I'm from Dominican Republic, but spent most of my life in the U.S. and now have been living La Vida Loca in Uganda for many years. Loving it.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Ashay?
I'm just a regular Negro from Sacramento, California. 55th generation African American. That's not true, but African American. Loving to be here.
Okay. Ashay,
So I met this beautiful lady at a Casa del Roy. So if you're ever in the diaspora, if you ever want to meet people from anywhere outside the Black British community, America, Casa del Roy, and I'd heard about you before. So there's this really pretty Dominican lady that lives in Uganda, and I thought that was like not true. No one would I know about, or what I thought I knew about Afro Latinas. I know there's a lot of connection between Dominicans and African Americans in like Philly, DC, New York City. Yeah. But I was like, there's no way that person lives here. And it's true.
Yep.
You're Dominican that lives in Uganda.
Loving it.
So how does that, because when we think about Dominicans a lot of times in the African American community, you got like the two kinds. The ones that are really down with like blacks and the ones that are very standoffish, and the Dominicans who like are black and people don't think or they don't feel like they are black. They're just Dominican.
Yeah.
Which one are you?
I resonate with my Afro ancestry.
Okay.
But definitely Dominican Republic does have an identity issue.
Okay.
And I think ever since like TikTok came out, my identity crisis has gotten more serious because the debate on whether
It's a great debate on TikTok.
it's so huge. If you're light-skinned Dominican, you're not considered black. If you're dark-skinned Dominican, you're still even not considered like from African descent is what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, we have African descent in our history.
Yes.
But somehow in Dominican Republic, they have something against not Dominican black, but anything else that is black outside of Dominican Republic is where they seem to be a bit not accepting, right? Which is why Dominican Republic is not fitting for me because I so resonate with my Afro ancestry, which is why I live here. I have a connection that I don't find over there.
So let me ask you, you grew up in New York,
Yes.
New York City,
South Bronx.
South Bronx in the building. Okay. How was it interacting with, let's say, a lot of different blacks in New York City, Caribbeans, African Americans?
Disclaimer, Jersey City and South Bronx.
Okay.
It was definitely an awakening call as a teenager to live in the South Bronx. I was less accepted in the South Bronx. I was a fighter. I used to have to fight a lot of black girls who want to fight me because their boyfriends would
you are
want to
beautiful.
talk to me or
Right.
say hello, and all of a sudden it's my fault and you want to fight outside in the yard. You know? So I found myself having to
Did you
fight
win?
a
Did
lot
you
in
win
South
most of them,
Bronx.
or
I
no?
never lost a fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in South Bronx, how was it with the Dominican community and the African American community? How did those communities interact?
Well, most of my family lived in Washington Heights, which is mostly all Dominican.
Yes.
And it's still very segregated.
Okay.
And depending on your age group.
Mm-hmm.
The younger crowd is more accepting. But of course, if you as a Dominican woman ever dated an African-American man, a Dominican man finds that to be like so offensive. Like they don't want to date you once they know that you've dated an African-American man.
Whoa.
Yeah,
let's break that down.
Well,
okay.
Because of the obvious. They just feel like, yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's the insecurity that a Hispanic man has with.
Even
an
if he's a
African-
Dominican black person, it's the same thing.
Yes, somehow.
Who was this Dominican? I want to say it was Felipe, that basketball player.
That what?
He was a basketball player.
There's so many. That's our sport.
He went to St. John's. Felipe Lopez, black Dominican. He was like one of the highest rated player in the 90s. Went to St. John's. But let me ask you this. So even those Dominicans who might consider themselves black, they still have that same mentality?
Yeah, they don't consider themselves black from any association to Africa has nothing to do with them.
Like Sammy
It's the
Sosa.
weirdest thing, yeah. Which Sammy Sosa then bleached his skin, looking so weird. Weird.
I remember when Sammy Sosa had a Jerry curl. Is that his real hair or is it like, that's his real hair?
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Okay, I thought he had a curl. I'm like, Sammy Sosa, oh, that's a brother. And then he got his skin bleached.
Looking weird. Yeah. It's some type of hatred. I don't know why. I don't get it.
How did you get to your position being a lady that grew up in Washington Heights? I know that's a very big Dominican community. How in the hell did you get from there to Uganda?
Oh, wow. No, I'm a big nature lover person. And I've been, there's this like conservationist lady named Dr. Jane Goodall, and I've been watching her on TV since I was like 5 years old, taking notes. And forever.
You finally met her, right?
I finally met her. I was just with her yesterday.
Let's put the video up. You have the video?
I was just,
Yeah, we'll put the video up.
I was just with her for the last 4 days.
Okay.
Yes. And so, no, I just pretty much love nature. And honestly, people always ask me, like, isn't your country, why wouldn't you move to your country? First of all, they don't have all the things that Uganda have here, which nature.
Yeah.
And secondly, I have come across so much racism in my own country against men that I date, or just general conversations about Black people that I could never accept to live there. Like,
can you give us because you prefer dating Black men?
Yes. My kid's father is Puerto Rican. Then somehow a friend of mine, even though I had so much fear of what I've heard, but I finally got courageous enough on the second boyfriend, and I dated a African-American guy, and that's all I know.
Okay. So
to this day.
Let's talk about the racism, because a lot of people, whenever I do a Dominican video on my main channel, it gets like 200,000 views. Afro-Latina, something like that. Not all of them are like that, right? Obviously, but
no, right.
Okay, but in the Dominican Republic, which is a great country, very beautiful, there is a certain hatred towards Blacks, in your opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, there is.
Okay, not actually towards you, because you look very Dominican. If you told me you're Dominican, you look very Dominican.
80% of people in Dominican Republic are dark skinned. We're the small minority. I've taken my best friend Mark to Dominican Republic, and they'll think that he's Dominican until he opens his mouth.
He told me that.
Yeah, and they'll think I'm from some exotic island or some exotic country. So no, like you walk around in Dominican Republic until you open your mouth, they'll think you're one of them.
What are the conversations that are had in Dominican Republic about Blacks that you find distasteful?
Oh my God, horrible. On that first Black boyfriend I've had, I had one of my relatives say, mind you, he was going to university in Rutgers, very upstanding guy.
Yeah. Showed
them a picture and they just called him a because he had a wife beater t-shirt or whatever. Or things like with the Haitians where like, there's this issue going on with Haitians.
Yes.
I've had young people in my family say like, oh, I want all Asian countries. They're all bad. They should all leave my country. And I'm like, really? All of them? Like all of
Haitians.
them. All of them. Mind you, the house I was living in Dominican Republic, I moved there for a few years, was owned by a very responsible Haitian who owned many properties, doing some good in the country. But the fact that you have been molded as a teenager to think that all Haitians are bad human beings is bad. It's bad.
Yeah. I guess I just want to relate to Uganda for a little bit. When you're in Uganda, do you preserve your Dominican culture? And is that something that you do to preserve that?
I still cook Dominican food in my house.
Okay.
Okay.
I haven't learned to cook the local food, although I'll hire a chef to cook it for me.
Yeah.
But for the most part, all the ingredients that I need to cook Dominican food
Yeah.
are found here. So I tend to kind of preserve that. Well, while I'm here, I still listen to Spanish music, but my favorite is Afrobeats.
Okay.
Even when I'm in Dominican Republic, I'll play
Yeah.
Afrobeats at the beach and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, Afrobeats, and I still play our music.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I just wanted to ask, when a Ugandan looks at you, the one thing that comes to their mind is that you're a white person.
Mzungu. I
Yeah.
hate that word.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel? Or do you try to correct them and tell them, no, I'm Dominican?
I do that. I'm always correcting my friends. They love even outsiders, but my friends, it hurts me when they even too will describe me as Mzungu. But I understand that here you guys just put everyone in a box, including if you're Ugandan light skin, you'll even call that person Mzungu.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
But for me, I feel like you have a word for Chinese, you have a word for Indian. We're like 26, 27 countries that are Latinos colonized. Like, why isn't there a word? I heard there was like a Mulatini word, but anyway, I'm always correcting people and I don't respond to the word Mzungu because I don't respond to being called white.
Why is that?
Just because I really associate to my African ancestry. So, and so much so that I live here and I want to spend the rest of my life here engulfed in what was taken away from me, you know, and whatever mix of, you know, African blood and colonizer blood that I have, I resonate more with my African blood than the colonizer.
So let me ask you this, because, you know, Dominicans are very proud people for sure. And you being a Dominican, and I've seen a few videos on TikTok with the Afro-Latino community. Some people are identifying with the more of the African ancestry. Some people are identifying more with, you know, the Dominican culture, which is also inspired by some parts of, you know, African culture. What does your family think? Like, you're living here and not in the DR. How do they feel about it?
Yeah, they just think that I'm crazy. They think I'm crazy. I'm the only one who has moved the furthest.
Yes.
Actually, they don't even leave America. They're the kind of people that only visit. If they live in the U.S., they only go to Dominican Republic and never explore any other country. Yeah, they're those, you know, they stay put. For me, I went on the other side of the planet, as I've always told them since I was a little girl that I was going to do.
You're telling me so you go to Africa?
All my life, I knew I would end up here.
So how did you first get here? Like, what was the first? Because, you know, that's like a leap of faith with all of us.
I think if people didn't have fear, because for me, even when my kids were like 10 and 11, I was planning on like, I'm going to pack up. Ever since like Google Earth came out, I would spend hours on Google Earth just like walking the streets of places like South Africa. I didn't know which country. I just knew it would be Africa.
Right.
Yeah. And then, no, I just connected. I built, me and my best friend, Mark Anthony, we built a shipping container school in Haiti. And as my kids,
really?
Yeah.
Mark's doing that kind of stuff?
After the earthquake, yeah, we were in
Mark's a good fucking person. You didn't tell me that. Okay.
So as my kids got older, as teenagers, I'm like, man, I know that I've been planning this. The minute my kids go off to college, I'm leaving for Africa. So let me move. I didn't know anyone. So there was just Facebook, and I found some organization in Kenya that would agree that they wanted a container library that we were planning on building. For 2 years, I raised a lot of things for them, but they weren't even really able to help. So then someone in LA connected me to a Ugandan lady. And at that time, the only thing I knew about Uganda was Maurice Kiria.
Really?
That's all I knew, because he was on the Africa Channel.
Yeah,
he had a
lot.
show there. And I'm like, I fell in love. I thought I would marry that man. He's not my friend, but you know, I was just like obsessed with Maurice. So I'm like, yes, let's move it to Uganda.
Yeah.
And I landed in Uganda in 2014, and that was it.
Wow.
It was like, that was it.
So you came here in 2014.
Yeah.
You're trying to actually go to Kenya.
Initially.
Okay.
But then the project, while we were still in the LA stage of the fundraising, the Ugandan lady was like, I love your project. I know you're struggling, but in order for me to help you, you have to move it to Uganda. And that's how then I started planning my life or, my trips to Uganda. And we shipped 10,000 books here to Uganda.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah, we shipped
Give a round of
10,000
applause.
books. Okay.
So let me ask you this, because this is you have more experience than me, because I came in 2017. And, just getting adjusted to everyday life. I'll leave the, me being a Dominican out. As somebody from the diaspora, which is me, you, Mark, different parts of the diaspora, Jamaican, Dominican, African-American. What has been your struggle in trying to get established here in Uganda as somebody that is a foreigner from the diaspora? Y'all see that face?
Just can't say it.
See? I've been trying to tell y'all it's hard. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's difficult.
It's very difficult.
What is so difficult about the transition?
That's okay.
Just
You want some napkins in case you want to cry?
no, I just a level of professionalism.
Okay.
Timekeeping.
Hello.
Attention to detail.
Hello.
Yeah, follow-ups, like all these things that you need in some type of business atmosphere.
Yeah.
I find the struggle here.
It's been hard.
Yeah, it's been hard.
Do you think that it is getting better?
Sure, it will be getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's been the struggle.
That's been the struggle.
Okay. Now, what
But
about?
there's a lot of opportunities here.
Let's talk about that, because there are opportunities in your savvy lady.
Yeah.
So, what are the opportunities that are here that you feel that somebody from the diaspora can?
Oh my God, there's so many.
Such as?
So many. Like there's so many services that we don't have. Like you can choose to get into the entertainment industry and build some type of training school for people, like in training people and services and tourism. And really, if you just look at what other countries, just not reinventing the wheel. There's so many business opportunities that you can find that take very little money to start here that is not here that would work. There's too many. There's plentiful of those ones.
But the problem is training and developing the staff to make those businesses work.
Or even if it's not for you, even if you're trying to inspire someone, like, hey, here are 10 business ideas you can do.
Okay.
Now, getting them to do it, or for them to just do it based on that information and to do the research and really engulf themselves in it.
Yeah.
It
takes some time.
Yeah, it takes time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like because you are a Dominican American, do you feel like maybe that has helped you or hurt you? Like, how has it helped you get into doors as an American person? Let's just say not Dominican American, but American citizenship. Has that helped you in getting things established, or has it?
It's helped me with networks.
Okay.
But it disables me when I am trying to negotiate or buy something, because you think I have money.
Okay.
So I'll never get an honest answer on the cost of something. So I tend to have a local friend of mine to do the conversations, to go buy something or go negotiate this or go call this person, because I can't, the minute they hear my voice, the price will be doubled.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I definitely hear the Dominican New York accent when you talk. I can definitely hear it.
Thank you.
But maybe they don't hear it as that. They hear it as foreigner, rich.
At this point, I've been here so long, I have the Ugandan accent.
You do.
You do.
I have it.
She does.
Yeah.
I have it.
She has it.
Yeah, when I use it, then they know that they can't take advantage
Oh,
of me as
That's
much.
the real.
Yeah, then they
accent.
know, like, this one has been here.
That's
this one has been here.
Yeah.
Let me just ask one last question before we go to Joan. So
Yeah.
also, I've heard from other people, like, being a woman in business here can be a disadvantage in comparisons to being a man. I've heard that from.
That's everywhere.
Okay, but extremely, especially here, do you feel like, how do you feel that do you feel like you're at a disadvantage, and why as a woman?
I've always been at a disadvantage in the U.S. here, everywhere I go.
Do you feel like you're at more disadvantage here?
No,
You don't.
no.
Okay, why not?
Because I also come off as a very what would I say, a person of great value, or a person with a lot of knowledge, with a lot of great ideas.
Okay.
And I can be an asset for the most part when it comes to someone's, you tell me something, I can give you 10 different opinions or suggestions from my mind. But mind you, I come from a marketing background.
Okay.
I was forced to learn how to brainstorm by my ex-boss at Warner Brothers, so like I have that skill of problem solving.
Sure.
So once you hear me talking, you know that like, okay, you want her on your project type of thing.
Let me ask you also, because that is something that I have struggled with, even with our podcast, or trying to, I told you about one situation in particular. We won't discuss that with right now, but I have a problem with trying to say, hey, this is what we can provide for the country in certain aspects. We don't even need your money to do it. We just want to try to do it and still maybe not getting any enthusiasm. But you were telling me the success of the things that you were being able to do in the project you've been able to do. So I was amazed because I've tried some of those things with the same people you're trying to do them with, and I have absolutely failed at it.
Did I tell you I succeeded?
You succeeded farther than me.
I mean, yeah, I accomplished
sure.
it, but it was through a lot of struggle and last minute and not meeting deadlines. But in front of the public, it looks like it all worked out.
How do you deal with making these things come to fruition? Whereas for me, I would just give up.
Oh.
After a certain time.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't give up. I'm very vocal. I don't, if you're doing something wrong, I have no problem giving you constructive criticism. So, you can make enemies like that and make friends that way.
Okay.
They can respect you or disrespect you, but I don't know how to change that way about me.
Okay.
I like, I like honesty, transparency.
Yeah.
And I expect my team to kind of follow in suit.
How has that helped you?
How has that helped me? That's a good one. No, that's a good one. No, it's helped me. No, I have a very good reputation.
Sure.
For when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And those who understand, at least in my field of marketing, those who understand do what I ask them to do or partner with me to get things done. Right? Those, now at this point, I'm at the point where if I explain it to you like once or twice and you understand the whole project and you don't get it, I move on. I don't have time. Like if you don't understand the concept, you're not the one I'm supposed to be working with. And I move on to the next one and to the next one until I find the correct partners. And I've been able to. I have very loyal partnerships here that the minute I say like, hey, I'm working on this, are you in? They're like, Fanny, whatever you want.
Okay, let me ask you one last thing. I'm sorry. I know John has questions, but establishing those partnerships, which are very vital for the success of somebody like us, staying in Africa and keeping here because, money can run out. But you have those partnerships, and many people in the diaspora, the African-American diaspora, some of our brothers from the Dominican community or wherever, they don't. And you've been able to do that successfully. How do you add value to even get those partnerships in the first place when nobody knows you?
I come with proof of concept. Like I've been here long enough.
Well, let's say if you're first getting here and you're looking to establish those partnerships, what would you tell somebody who's new?
Yeah. I always like knowing someone in a country. That's always seems to be, I came here not knowing anyone.
Okay.
But I always suggest like connect with people from that other side. Like before I came to Uganda, I made sure I engulfed myself in everything Uganda in California and LA. I've been to the UNA conventions. I've joined all associations. I would attend all there until I built kind of like a little network, because the biggest fear of people doing a transition like this is fear. Fear is the biggest thing. And also because you think it's so expensive. It like, had I known how not expensive it is to come here, I would have come years ago.
Okay.
You know, so like, yeah. And then once you get here, like I also tell a lot of my friends who they hear me and like all these, Fanny, what's an idea? And I give them the idea. They were like, okay, I want to invest in that. How much do I need to send you? $10,000, $20,000? I'm like, no, you have to come look at this. Because if you come, you will sell everything. You will, the concept, the idea may even change. And you yourself will think about all the resources you have to come here and build something, build an empire here with what you got from over there. And that's pretty much what I'm doing.
So let me just make sure to clarify. You were living at the time in California.
Yeah.
So your project was in Kenya to keep it going in Uganda. So what you said was, I need to get with the Ugandan community, whatever they're doing in California.
Yes, I was involved in everything.
So the embassy, meetups, things like that.
All of it.
Right.
I was
Which is
part of it.
always recommended. So if you're listening to this, what you need to do. So wherever you want to come, start dealing with the embassies, things like that first, right?
Yeah. Look for that community within your city.
Community. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to find it. You started contributing to that community.
Mm-hmm.
Then how long was it before you decided to actually come to Uganda after meeting these people?
It took about a year and a half before I landed here in 2014.
So 18 months, 2012, 2013, you're interacting with the Ugandan community in the diaspora.
Yes.
Going to events.
Yes.
Getting contacts. Did those people help you be successful here?
Yeah. Like, well, a lot of those, like, I met Saba in Vampino at UNA convention. And when I got to Uganda, UNA is the Uganda North America Association, and they do conventions in different cities once a year.
Yeah.
Okay. When is it?
It's you come and they'll have like a boat cruise, but they'll also have like investment booths and immigration things. If people from the diaspora need to fix their immigration stuff, so it's just like a place to kind of meet up with Ugandans that come and all that, right? Okay, so I met Saba and Vampino, who are brothers, at UNA in LA. And when I reached Uganda, he introduced me to one person who built my network one by one.
Wow.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Now, you mentioned that you have kids.
Yes.
You're a mother, which
Yes.
obviously the people watching us are also mothers, and they have kids and they would love to move back to Uganda and relocate and do all that. Now, how has been the move? Like you're a mom, right? Yeah. How has it been? Are the kids here, first of all?
No, but my daughter's been here, and both of them, my son and my daughter, plan to come in the next month or two. But again, if I could have, had I known what I know now, I would have moved when my kids were smaller.
Really?
Yes, because now I have no control of them.
Yeah.
But I would have moved sooner. But my kids totally love that what they heard their mother talk about all of their lives, she's actually living.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good lesson. Even though I miss them, I'm not with them. They can say like, wow, my mom is living the dream that she says she's wanted to live all her life. So they're super proud. Yeah. They call me all the time with their friends like, my mom lives in Uganda,
Uganda, Africa.
It's quite rewarding that your kids even see you that way, I was a young mom.
Yeah.
But I waited for them to go off to college. Yeah. And then I'm like, I'm out. Bye. Like the bills are paid, the rent is there, you good? Yeah. I'm out.
Okay. Do you think mothers coming to the continent will have it easy? Do you think so?
No, I mean, this place is so okay. If you're coming from an American with American money, let's say, right? You can the first few years, I literally would come and spend and have like $4,000 and live off of that for 6 months. That's unheard for. That's like 2 months rent in the US, like literally. And that's if you live in a small place. So I'm literally here living, paying $250 rent. You can never find that in the US.
Right.
Yeah. Right? So to me, I find Uganda to be like so peaceful. Yeah. You have so much freedom. You're eating real organic food, yes, fertile lands. I have nature, which is what I've wanted all my life, and a plethora of opportunities that I could take advantage of. So this is like I would do this 1,000 times over in the same way.
Wow. A lot of money. So you're saying there's a lot of money to be made here.
There's a lot of money to be made here, and a lot of them don't require a whole ton of money.
Okay.
At all. Yeah. Like little.
Yeah. Okay.
That's beautiful. That's well said. This was an amazing episode.
Thank you.
Can we end this? Or
Yeah, go ahead. No. No. Let me just one last question.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, it seems like you have more of the knack for a business.
Yes.
I think all of us as entrepreneurs, I'm a business person, like through and through. I can't get away from that. But a lot of people are, they've been educated, but they've worked in the private sector for a company. So maybe they're good at building systems for another company. But when you come to Uganda, you are the manager, the talent finder, the trainer. As a person, you're wearing so many hats as an individual proprietor or sole proprietor of a business. And again, you might not have the patience because coming from America, I tell my staff this all the time. In America, all of you are fired. All of you. Like at least 7 times you'd be fired by now. But when you're coming here, that's not how you can't run an American style business when you're trying to, knowing that they don't come from the system that we come from. So a person that's never owned a business and comes here probably won't survive as a person who already has owned a business. So what skill sets do you need as an entrepreneur to succeed in Uganda, coming from the States, from what you know now? What kind of person do you need to be to do well here?
Patience and a mentor mentality. Like you have to understand that you have to train someone over and over and over again until they get it. Now, at a certain point, when they don't catch certain things, then you have to move on to the next person. But you have to have that mentor mentality. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great gym. Okay.
Yeah,
anything else? What your company? You want to promote it here?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Where can people find you? And is there anything you'd like for them to find?
Yeah. Well, I have 2 companies. One is called Back to the Source Tours. We do regular tours, but then we also have an initiative that we do every year where I use my network from Hollywood to come promote Uganda once a year. So it's like a group trip type of marketing strategy that I use because I have Hollywood and have a marketing background. So I'm simply using my skills to help promote Uganda.
Okay.
Right. So I do that with Back to the Source Tours. And our project, the group trips initiative is called Back to the Source. It's been like that for a few years. And then I also have Adventure Republica, which is a events products rental line called adventurerepublica.com.
Which I want to do an event with. I'm telling you, the way she just showed me.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's fun.
That level.
Fun.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm so dusty, but that level of that could happen with that sort of event, that could be the biggest thing in Uganda. What, as stupid as I am and what they're doing, trust me, I'm telling you, like, just wait till the sun comes up.
Some bomb parties.
Yeah, it is.
Lovely. Fanny,
It's
you're TikTok. You're quite popular on TikTok.
Yeah.
Are you really?
She is.
How
many followers you got?
It's like 26, 27.
What?
1,000.
You superstar?
Yeah. And it's mostly me just promoting people moving to Africa. And explaining to them how messed up America is. Compared to.
So if they want to find the TikTok, what's the username?
Oh, Journey in the World. It's at Journey in the World.
Okay.
On TikTok.
Okay, that's perfect. Oshay, where can they find you if they want to?
Please do not message me. Don't even worry about it. Don't follow me.
Okay.
I do not like y'all like that for real.
Well, that's well say. Guys, if you have anything you'd like to share with us, you can send us an email at teamkenganda@gmail.com and also follow us on all our social media pages at Kenganda Nation. Also subscribe to the Pan African Dating Show. See you guys next time.